Hello everyone and welcome back to Caverns of the Snow Witch. When we last left off, we just got out of the catacombs and we have defeated the Snow Witch in the title of this gamebook. So we have succeeded in our quest and we are heading for some celebrations to Stonebridge, which we know from book 3, Forest of Doom. Anyway, we are pretty badly bruised. I mean, all our stats are lower than their maximum value. Our stamina is at half practically, but we still have our potion of strength, and yeah, and basically we're not that close to death, so it sounds great. So let's see what's in store for us here. Our journey south is long and arduous, but our determination to leave Icefinger Mountains behind us spurs us on. Alright, makes sense. 2 days after leaving the ice caverns, we reached the River Cook. Oh, actually, it was right here. Remember, that's the one that has the Port Black Sand at its end, where the river meets the sea. And yeah, just like the text says, 50 miles upriver lies Fang, the town where Baron Sukhumvit's notorious death trap dungeon awaits its challengers each year for the Trial of Champions. All right. However, at this time of year, Fang is unlikely to be more interesting than any other river town. Okay, we decide against going there and walk downriver to find a bridge or boatman. Okay, so it seems that Stonebridge is actually pretty close to, relatively close to the other two locations, previous locations we have just mentioned. That's interesting. After walking for half an hour along the bank of the wide, dirty brown river, we see a man asleep aboard a raft moored to the bank. We shout to him and ask him to ferry us across. He tells us to go away as he is too tired to work today. Okay, lazy. Lazy, that's what he is. If we had 10 gold pieces, we could make him change his mind, but as I've said, we exited the dungeons without taking any money with us. And at that time, it sounded like a good idea, you know, not exchange money for any of our useful items that might save our life later on. But now it seems that it's biting us in the behind. Whatever, we can just walk on. Let's see where that leads. Further along the bank, we find a small wooden boat tied to a tree. We look around, but we cannot see its owner. Okay, we can steal the boat or wait for its owner. We still have no money, but maybe this owner will be more amiable and maybe amenable and maybe more, you know, prone to letting us across for something or else. So that's rather, I don't like stealing items, and we are not in like enemy territory at all, so especially here I would rather wait for its owner to arrive. Let's see who the owner is and if we can deal with him or her. Feeling tired after the strain of recent events, we sit down and rest. Stubb decides to go off to forage for food, and Red Swift begins to make a fire. We drift off into a deep sleep, which our body welcomes. We gain 2 stamina points. Okay, that's actually awesome. We are up to 13. That's pretty decent. We are woken up an hour later by the ringing sound of clashing swords. We leap up and see Red Swift engaged in combat with somebody wearing a hooded black cloak. When he turns, we realize he's a dark elf, the natural enemy of Red Swift and his fellow wood elves. Okay, actually we didn't know that Red Swift for the wood elf. We found that mountain elf at the beginning of our adventure in the caverns. But okay, so I guess the dark elf is the owner of this boat, and they probably attacked each other on sight, which is unfortunate. Well, we run to try to help our friend, but we are not needed. With a forward thrust of his sword, Red Swift dispatches his adversary. Okay, good move, I guess. I didn't feel that we needed to kill this creature, but well, his blood is not on our hands, at least. Whose idea was it to wait for the boat, man? Asks Red Swift with a wry smile. Refusing to be baited, we suggest that we search through the belongings of the dark elf. Right, he's not gonna need them anymore, that's for sure. A pouch on his belt contains a glass vial filled with a green liquid. Red Swift takes out the stopper and sniffs it, but he does not recognize the smell. Okay, we could pour it on the ground or drink the liquid. Let's drink it. I don't think it's going to like kill it. Why would the dark elf carry poison like that? It might be harmful or something, but I'm not afraid that it will be that negative. So let's drink it. We breathe in and take a gulp of the green liquid. Feeling no ill effects, we quickly finish it off. Slowly the tiredness and pain in our body fade away and we feel revitalized. We have drunk a potion of health. We gain 1 skill point, 4 stamina points and 1 luck point. That is most excellent for sure. Wow, that was really useful. So we have now rested, eaten and drunk a potion of health. We are in tip-top shape, almost. Well, our stamina is still a bit lagging behind, but obviously we're not going to drink that potion of strength. Our skill is at 13, believe it or not, which is most excellent. This should be sufficient against, well, everything practically. And our luck is at 10, which is not the greatest, but it will have to do. It will suffice. So let's proceed. Now we have the boat, I guess, now that the owner is dead. It is not long before Stubb returns, laden with nuts, roots, greens, and a fat rabbit. Using a pan he found in the bottom of the boat, he sets about making a delicious stew, while Red Swift brags about his fight with the Dark Elf. Alright, sorry, we just rested. That's how we gained 2 stamina points. Actually, the food is only coming up now. Soon we are all enjoying the nourishing meal, telling each other stories, and putting the terrible memories of the Snow Witch out of our minds. We gained 4 stamina points. Wow, that's great. Also, I guess the other 2 guys need some kind of fresh stories and some memory wipe more than we do. I mean, all we did was when we went in there and fought the evil Snow Witch and defeated her and won, but they were slaves there for at least for a while. And wow, our stamina is up at 21. This is really great. If our luck point was, if we had 1 more luck point, I would say that this is like most excellent. It's still pretty good. 21 stamina points, 13 skill points and 10 luck points. That's great. Later we climb into the Dark Elf's boat and push off from the bank. It does not take long to reach the other side, and we set off south across the pagan plain for Stonebridge. Alright? Marching quickly across the plain, we do not encounter any evil creatures. To the east, we see the forbidding shape of Firetop Mountain reaching into the sky. Okay, so that place is also near, so that makes 4 of the locations, you know, in close vicinity to each other. Okay. Well, I mean close, relatively close. Probably the mountain is a bit further off. Does the warlock still rule the depths of Firetop Mountain? Stubb asks inquisitively. We are just about to reply when we see somebody walking towards us, and we would reply that no, he was butchered and murdered by a heroic adventurer that went there and robbed the place clean. Good old memories. Whatever. We draw our sword, but when the person gets closer, we see that it is a little old man carrying a sack over his shoulder. He stops in front of us and says, "Put that sword away. There is no point in killing me. The only thing that I have to offer is information, and that costs money. Pay me 2 gold pieces and you won't regret it." Alright? That would sound like a great idea. I wouldn't mind parting with 2 gold pieces for any kind of information that might ever come useful, but unfortunately we do not have any money on us, so we just have to ignore him and continue south, unfortunately. Alright. The flatness of the plain becomes monotonous, and we forget to keep a constant lookout. The reflection of the sun on our armor has attracted a group of flying predators that we do not notice circling above us. They are humanoid in shape with large wings, and they swoop down on their prey to kill them with their sharp claws. There are 4 of these birdmen above us, and one of them suddenly lets out a shrill cry and swoops down to attack us. Alright, so it seems that our troubles are not over yet, but we need to test our luck. I was about to say I'm not afraid, but I am actually kind of afraid of our luck roll. And we got lucky, so probably we managed to deflect or avoid this swoop. We just managed to draw our sword in time to defend ourselves against the diving birdman. It veers away slightly, but turns to attack again. Okay, this time I'm not afraid. Wow, it has a skill point of 12. Okay, I should have. This is the... So first of all, I may have been right to be afraid. Secondly, this is the most formidable opponent we have seen in a very long while, to be honest. yeah, the nothing on this adventure matches up to the Birdman's with 12 skill points. Even the Crystal Warrior only had 11. Although it was far sturdier, that one needed 6 hits to go down. The Birdman is more fragile, I guess. So 4 hits, but we are very slightly favored here, so this might harm us. We might suffer some wounds here, and the second encounter is a miss. The third encounter is also a miss. Okay, we hit him again. Only 2 more hits to go, but now we suffer a hit. That's only to be expected. Alright. And it's down. Oh, wow, that was actually great. We only suffered 2 stamina points loss. That's better than I'd expected. The other Birdmen who were circling above us fly east after seeing the first Birdman killed. Alright? Frightened that they might return with a huge flock, we decide to run across the plain. The sun is now overhead and we begin to sweat profusely. We become unbearably thirsty and curse the fact that we have no water bottle. Yes, we were literally in a glacier, so we could have packed away some ice, I guess. Yeah, that didn't sound like smart. And by the way, it's really interesting that the weather turned from like glacier into this almost savanna-like scenario. You know, we're just supposedly we're just north of the Forest of Doom, Darkwood Forest. But anyway, that was in the mountains, so it kind of sort of makes sense. But anyway, we finally reach a water hole, but we feel like screaming when we see the body of an ogre lying face down in the water. We could still drink the water, we're not gonna do that. So either the water is poisoned or is infected or whatever, or the ogre, I mean, it's probably not a good idea to drink any kind of water when with the dead creature in it, so we're just gonna leave it be. We are going to resist the temptation to drink. We do not wish to risk drinking the water. However, our thirst makes us weary. We lose 1 stamina point. Oh, come on, this is totally bogus. I mean, we're just walking along and randomly losing health. I don't like this. The 3 of us set off to the south, worried about the shortage of water. Stubb tries to offer some comfort by saying that we should reach Stonebridge in less than a day, and presumably they have water there at the very least, and food. He says that he's surprised that he hasn't seen any of his fellow dwarves by now. "Oh yes, we have," says Red Swift solemnly, "but you won't want to see them like that." He points to a boulder about 50 meters west. The bloodied body of a dwarf lies propped up against it, his head has slumped forward and he is motionless. His axe is still in his hand, and whoever or whatever attacked him cannot be far away. This is a gruesome sight, a grim sight to behold. Poor dwarf. And I guess these are the Birdmen, so we should pick up some pace before they swoop down on us en masse. Stubb runs up to the dwarf, wailing in grief. "It is Mori the Ironsmith," he says. "This looks like the work of hill trolls. Let's bury Mori and get to Stonebridge as quickly as possible to tell them this terrible news. Here, take Mori's water bottle. He won't need it now." We gulp down the water and are at last refreshed. We gain 1 stamina point. Alright, what was the point of the stamina point just, the previous entry? Okay, we're back to 19. It's not bad, so 19 stamina points is acceptable. After marking Mori's grave with his axe and helmet, we set off again for Stonebridge. Good idea. The night is approaching and we decide to camp in the shelter of some rocks and bushes despite Stubb's plea to carry on. We build a fire and settle down to sleep. Red Swift takes the first watch, and now we need to roll against luck again. That's going to become worse by the moment, because now our luck is at 9, so we have around 65-70% chance of succeeding, so that's not that great. And yeah, our luck has run out. So what attacked us? We have been asleep for only 2 hours when an eerie howl pierces the night air, waking us up. We see Red Swift immediately stoke up the fire and Stubb run to his side, ready for battle. Suddenly we hear a twig snap behind us and we turn round to see a large beast about to leap on us. Its long hair and sharp teeth glisten in the firelight, and we realize that it is a werewolf. We must fight it. Okay? Okay. I was afraid. I was worried that it would be something worse, but this werewolf needs 5 hits to go down, so it's actually pretty sturdy. But with a skill point of 8, we outskill it by 5 points, so this should be a pushover. And yeah, I don't think this poses any threat to us. I don't think it's going to hit us even once, to be perfectly honest. And it doesn't. It was just, you know, easy kill. After the ordeal with the werewolf, we cannot settle down to sleep again. We are pleased when Stubb completes the second watch and asks us to take over. The rest of the night passes peacefully, and in the morning we are able to continue our journey to Stonebridge. Okay, that's actually a good thing. We didn't suffer any effects, any negative effects because of our failed luck roll. We dispatched of the werewolf without problems, so I guess the only thing we lost here was 1 luck point. Not happy about that. By mid-morning, Stubb has become quite excited, knowing that he will soon be home. Seconds later, the thought of his dead friend Mori depresses him, and he shakes his fist at the unseen hill trolls. An hour later, we see distant wisps of smoke rising into the sky. "Stonebridge!" yells Stubb. He starts to run ahead of us, but suddenly stops when he sees a party of 6 hill trolls marching towards his village. And here they are. I guess Stonebridge is closer than we thought. It's literally like next to it. And I only count 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh yeah, 6. So at least counting by the weapons, it's 6 hill trolls. We only see like 3 of them. The flesh. Screaming a battle cry, Stubb raises his axe and charges at them. We cannot leave our friend to fight them on his own and run forward to fight at his side. 2 of the hill trolls turn to fight us. Okay, yes, we cannot leave him to fight alone. I mean, we don't want the hill trolls to finish us off piecemeal, but maybe there could have been a better strategy than just, you know, rushing them head on, but I guess that's dwarves for you. Alright, hill trolls. We have fought quite a few hill trolls in our on our adventures, so we know what we're up against. Nothing special, to be perfectly honest. They're pretty tough, hard-skinned, and you can see on the image that they're also quite well equipped. So 10 stamina points and 9 skill points. It's just they're just a tiny bit better, or at least this person is just a tiny bit better than the werewolf. It might strike us once, I guess, but we are not in any real threat. And no, it didn't strike us at once even. Okay, now we must face the second hill troll, and this one is actually weaker, but it doesn't matter. We still need to hit it 5 times, so it makes no difference that it has 1 less stamina points, one stamina point fewer than the previous one, and 1 more. And yes, this was a clean, what a clean battle. We actually didn't suffer even 1 hit from both of these trolls combined. That's great. Stubb's desire for revenge spurs him on, and he quickly defeats 2 of the hill trolls and then helps Red Swift dispatch the remaining 2. Alright, I actually thought that Red Swift was like the better fighter, but at the very least we didn't suffer any casualties here. He does not stop to search through the trolls' belongings, but heads straight for Stonebridge. Okay, we could have, but whatever. We follow him into the village, where he is greeted by all his old friends. However, we soon discover that an air of gloom hangs over the dwarves. Even though they know that the hill trolls are gathering to attack their village, they have lost their will to defend themselves since their fabled warhammer was stolen from King Gillibrand. Alright, what? Stubb is concerned by their loss of morale and takes us to the inn to meet his friend Bigleg. He learns from Bigleg that an eagle took the warhammer but dropped it over Darkwood Forest. Okay, it seems that this adventure that we're on now, it takes place earlier, or just before rather, sometime, a short period of time before Book 3, The Forest of Doom. So well, it shouldn't concern us. There will be another hero to take care of this. Then we must find it. Bigleg, we must leave immediately. says Stubb, forgetting his own troubles. He stands up and extends his hand to us, saying, "Well, friends, I'm sorry, but I will not be able to offer you our hospitality after all. I hope you understand." He walks out of the inn with Big Leg, and that is the last that we see of the jolly old dwarf. He wasn't jolly. Well, he was a bit jolly, sometimes laughed. Well, we know what happens to Big Leg. We don't know what happened to this one, to Stubb. I don't remember that we could meet him in that other adventure, on that other adventure. Alright, well, it is what it is. At the very least we could grab some meal and move on. Hopefully Red Swift's homeland is not besieged, so hopefully all we need to do is get out of here. Red Swift sighs and suggests that the two of us leave for Moonstone Hills straight away. Okay, makes sense. We don't want to be caught in a war zone for no reason. Besides, he says, he has something important to tell us, and in a way, it is fortunate that Stubb will not be around to hear what he has to say. Intrigued by Red Swift's words, we leave Stonebridge, heading east along the bank of the Red River. Okay. While keeping a lookout... Okay, so I'm going to read this, but this is going to be taken care of next time. While keeping a lookout for hill troll patrols, we cannot help wondering what it is that Red Swift has to tell us. Hidden among the trees to our left, Red Swift suddenly spots 3 hill trolls sharpening their weapons on a stone. Okay, so so I guess this is still not the end of our adventure. We have reached Stonebridge, the village of Stonebridge, but it is besieged by the trolls. We know how this will end, but presumably it's not going to end for quite a while. So we get out of here, and it seems that we've got another quest on our hands, sort of, I guess. Whatever Red Swift has to tell us might be the next on our line of main quests. We don't know what it is, but we're not going to find out now, that's for sure, because I'm going to make the cut of the video right here before I make this luck roll. I'm going to reread this passage again in the next video. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll join me for next time as well for the 4th main quest. Bye bye.